Hello and welcome to the world of Concur. In this video, I will explain how to submit a reimbursement request or report using this online system. If you have purchased an item for your student group or resource center with your own personal money and need to be reimbursed from your group's budget, you will use Concur to do so. Before I get into how to prepare and submit a report, a couple of important notes. First, you have to be activated in the system before you're able to create a report. To see if you're activated, you'll want to log into Concur. The link is in our PDF instructions, which you can get directly from your financial coordinator or on the Financial Service Center's webpage under OSA's site. But you can also go to Penn's homepage and just type Concur in the search bar. And it should be the first option. Which will take you to the travel website and the link here for Concur. You will need to log in with your PIN key and password. And what you're looking for are the tabs here at the top. The expense tab here is for reimbursements. If you don't see it, that means you're not activated and you will need to contact your financial coordinator with your name and PIN ID number for activation. Once activated, you will need to check your banking information for direct deposit. Some of you may have already signed up for direct deposit with the university for other reasons, but please note that doesn't necessarily mean you are direct deposit ready in Concur. You will need to check your banking information in your profile settings, and your bank will need to be verified before you're able to submit a reimbursement report. So your profile settings are here. And here is banking information. And here is where you will update all of that. So you're activated and your banking information is up to date. You are now ready to submit a request. One last thing to note, we do not reimburse for paying individuals, only items, food for an event, supplies for a performance, travel for a group trip. These are examples of what can be reimbursed. If you paid someone, a DJ, a speaker, presenter, an artist, out of your own pocket with your own money, you will not be able to use this system to get your money back. You will need to reverse that payment, and that individual will need to be paid through Penn's payment system. You can refer to our payment request process and forms for that. So let's get into how to prepare a report. You'll want to come up to the expense tab, and that will take you to the manage expenses, and you'll click create new report. And that takes you to the report header page. On this page, you'll only be filling out the fields that are blank with a red bar. The red bar means it's mandatory, and you only need to fill out what's blank. So first, you're going to choose what type of report is this. And usually we're only using numbers 1 through 4. If it's a travel report, you're specifying what type of travel is it? Is it domestic travel, travel within the U.S. but out of the state? Is it international travel, or is it local travel? Travel in Philadelphia, taxi, a bus, SEPTA. For the purposes of this example, we have purchased plates and cups for a student GBM, a general body meeting. Here is our makeshift receipt here. We went to CVS, we purchased plates, cups for a total of $10.78. So we did not travel anywhere, so that means that this report is a non-travel expense report. On the report name, you'll want to add what student group this is. So you'll want to put the student group name and just a brief title alluding to what this was. So your student group's name, and these were GBM supplies. Something brief because I believe you only get a certain amount of characters here. Next, you'll want to fill out the business justification. Here are the details, the who, what, where, when, and how. So we purchased plates and cups for GBM. You'll want to put the date, that's helpful. And I also like to see where this money is coming from. Where is this reimbursement coming from? What SAC category? Were you funded from ICF or T-Change or SPEC or whatever? This is a good place to put that detail. So say we were funded in equipment supplies for SAC. So you'll just want to write that in here. This is the budget code, which is auto-populated depending on how you were activated into the system. If your financial coordinator did not activate you, most likely the person who did activate you is your default reviewer or your default approver. And that means that your reports will automatically go directly to that person. If that is your case, you're going to want to add a note in the Notes to Approver section here to please forward this report to, and you'll want to put your financial coordinator's name along with their email address. That's how we identify the people we need to forward it to. So once all that is filled out, you'll hit next. And again, if we look at our receipt, we purchased items, supplies for a GBM. So that is going to go under the miscellaneous expense type. We have to categorize what is it that we purchased. If this were food for this GBM, that would go under student activities. Or any food for student events go under student activities. If this were a travel report and we took the bus or a taxi, here are all our transportation categories. If this were a hotel for a group trip, that's what we can pick. You can see there's all the categories we need here. But again, for this example, we just purchased items and that goes under miscellaneous. You'll pick the transaction date. What day did you purchase these items? And the vendor name. We went to CVS. And the amount. And here you'll want to put the total amount on your receipt. And this is important because on non-food items, anything that is not food, we cannot reimburse tax. So this receipt, you'll see the $5.99 plus the $4, it subtotals $9.99, but there was $79 tax. And that means we'll have to itemize our expense. So the first part of itemization is entering the full amount on the receipt, the $10.78. And if there was no tax, all you would need to put is the full amount and go ahead, upload your receipt and save it. But we need to itemize. So you come down here and instead of saving it, click itemize. And it's asking you to choose the expense type. So this is miscellaneous, and I believe you can just start typing in. Yep. So what are we being reimbursed for? The amount we're being reimbursed for is the $9.99. That's how much we can request because that is what our items cost. And when you hit save, you'll get an alert just because you haven't finished. You also need to include the non-reimbursable portion, and that's all the way at the bottom, for the tax. And that was 79 cents. And automatically, the box specifying that this is a personal expense and you do not reimburse it, it will check itself. You can make sure it's checked. You'll save that. Yeah, that alert goes away, and you'll see you have your $9.99 plus your 79 cents here. It does equal out to your $10.78, and even though that's the total amount, you are only requesting the $9.99. But we're not finished. We have not uploaded our receipt, and that is important. So you'll go back to the original line. You'll go down to attach receipt down here at the bottom. I've done this before, so mine's already here, but you'll browse your files. If you scan a receipt, if you're taking a picture of your receipt, all of that is fine. We just need to know, be sure that it's readable. Make sure that we can see the details, see the items, what things cost, the totals, the tax totals, all of the above, the vendor name. So you attach that, and a new receipt image tab will come up. Check it. It's always good to check to make sure everything is readable. And you're done. You can hit save. Make sure everything's there. There's a little drop down that has both your itemization lines, and you're ready to submit. So you hit submit report, and the final review, just certifying that what you are submitting for reimbursement was for official business, for your student groups, for your resource centers, that you've attached all your receipt images, everything that you're saying is true and correct. Accept and submit. And you'll get a successfully submitted kind of confirmation. Here, this is my default reviewer, but your default reviewer, their name will be in this area here. If you notice, oh wait, that's not my financial coordinator, and I forgot to add the note in the beginning and on the header page to forward it to my financial coordinator, take the name, send that person a note just as a heads up. Hey, I have this report, it's coming your way. Do you mind forwarding it? So once you close that, it takes you back to the main manage expense page, and here's your report here, and you can see it's submitted and pending approval. You can go back in, log back into Concur, and look at any report to see where it is in the process. Sometimes reports get stuck because it goes through approval and maybe that person doesn't realize they need to forward it on or approve it to forward it on. So you can go in and see any report that you've done. If a report comes back to you, it will come back to you with comments on how to fix it, or if maybe it's something that can't be reimbursed. But you can open it, see what those comments are, make any corrections, and resubmit. So this was a general example that you should be able to model most of your reimbursement requests on. But if you have a more complicated request or you're having issues, please do not hesitate to reach out to your financial coordinator for help. Thank you very much.